Hi, my name's Shalom Havalera, and this is my application for Evergreen. Okay, so one of the questions was, what are my hobbies outside of work? Or what do I like to do outside of work? So one of the things that I really like doing is being able to keep myself active and eat right as part of my overall diet. I really like being able to go outside, go on nature walks, jog. So those are one of the things that I'm very passionate about. The second thing that I really like to do is being able to host events and build my network outside of hosting events. So it's kind of like one of the side gigs that I do is host weddings or special events for schools and companies. So those are things that I'm passionate about, and also training people to do the same. The second question for me is, what is one of the most difficult decisions you've ever had to make, and why? Okay, so one of the most difficult decisions for me, I think, happened last year when, in terms of our planning, we were looking at trends in terms of enrollment. I work in a school, so we take a look at enrollment, and we had a big projection for the year already based on the previous enrollment of the school. So just so you know, we had around 500 students the previous year, so we were expecting around the same for last year because face-to-face classes have happened already around our country. So we were expecting that there could be a lower type of enrollment, so we were going very conservative with a good projection in mind based on our computations. But all of a sudden, for some reason, we had so many people re-enroll in our school. I guess they really enjoyed the services that we provided as a company. And I was the program manager who created the first year for that program in our school, basically having teachers, a lot of staff, being able to give education for the students that are there. So we provided a really good service for families who did not have the time to actually go to face-to-face classes. So I had to make the quick decision, for that matter, 2 months before school started, to increase our enrollment slots. So we had to open more sections, and it seemed like an impossible task at the time because we had to hire a lot of teachers and at the same time maximize the ones that we already had in another program, and kind of make that work. So that was hard because it wasn't in the plan. We had to manage the expectations of our employees who were expecting that they would be in a certain role. I had to talk with all of them, kind of get them in the right mindset. And at the same time, on our end, we had to manage hiring multiple teachers and getting the best ones, even at a quick pace. And then also track the numbers because I had to make sure that we had enough teachers for the set goal. So fast forward, we were able to double our enrollment for that school year. It felt really impossible at that time, but we were able to manage it by proper planning of data, and then also being able to coordinate this with our CEO. Okay, last question is, what would you do if you noticed that a coworker was underperforming? So that's answered in two ways. Number one is, if I was the manager of that underperforming employee, of course, I raise this with HR, but we have a process internally for this, as we have key processes per person. We call it key performance indicators. So we have a list of their roles and a balanced scorecard in order to give them the right appraisal. So if there's someone that's underperforming, I just let them know that they need to, first of all, I give them a coaching session, give them an informal memo, and then if there's no improvement after that, we have a tracking system, and then worst case scenario, we give them a notice to explain. Sometimes worst case scenarios, I have to let people go. So that has happened in the past when the expectations are not met in the company. We are a big company already. But if it's a coworker, I just let HR know. If it's something that I can talk to them about, I do that. So that's it for my interview.